Hello there, and welcome back to another brand new episode of Tritoncraft Season 2. I got a lot closer to my face for some reason. I don't know what happened. Maybe because I got up against this block here. In the last episode, we talked about the potential of making a pier stretching out into the ocean out here before us, because there's nothing. This is like 10,000 blocks of nothing but water. Because if we just head straight back west, we'll eventually get back to where we spawned into the world at the very, very beginning of this series, which I've never been back there. I've always had a bed set when I've died, including this time, you know, when we were digging out this mound over here. Yeah, let's not let's not bring too much attention to it here. But before we get going with that, I think we've got to actually take a little floaty cam look here at some of the additional pathway work that we've done here. I'll go ahead and pepper some replay mod footage in here too that I did happen to take during this whole process. Ignore the chests that are sitting over here. Why am I pushing buttons? There we go. Yeah, ignore the chests that are sitting over there and the furnaces that are sitting over there. We got to remove those here in just a few moments. I decided to start sprinkling some cherry blossom leaves into some of these bushes here. Now, I didn't want to do full cherry blossom bushes, but I thought, what if I sprinkled in some cherry leaves in and amongst the spruce leaves, and maybe that'll add an even different splash of color, obviously, than the azalea bushes we've been doing here. And I actually kind of really love this, especially the ones that are underneath the green leaves. Like, I almost want to bury all of the spruce leaves entirely, but not the spruce leaves, the cherry leaves. I think that would be really cool. I love this so much. And I was actually thinking too, because I know I was talking about the Pale Gardens in the last one, but obviously Pale Gardens, the winter drop hasn't come yet, and I don't know when I'm actually going to get a chance to upgrade that, but I'm pocketing it away now. I'm planting the seed, Nick. I'm incepting myself here. Let me get in front of your dumb face here, and here we're going to incept the seed into your mind. Here we go. Nick, get leaves from the Pale Gardens and put them along this walkway, because if you guys haven't seen, the Pale Gardens are similar to the cherry trees, and I planted a small little bunch of cherry trees over here just to have a little splash of color, just a little differentiation in the forest here. I think it's not working because I'm not over here next to it, but there's particle effects from the cherry leaves. There are also particle effects from the Pale Gardens. There's falling leaves that come down from the Pale Gardens, from the pale oak trees. And I thought, how cool would that be if in and amongst the trees that I have out here, see, maybe it'll work now. There we go. Yeah, just because I wasn't over here. But yeah, we have like the petals of the cherry leaves falling over here. But if I took just little leaf blocks from the pale oak tree and hid them in and amongst the spruce trees along this pathway here, how cool would that be if we just had leaves falling as we were walking up this pathway? Like, I think that would look super cool. But yeah, I did a lot more work over here in just kind of fleshing out the detail and adding more stuff into the space here to try to make this pathway just look beautifully detailed. Let me sleep. Yeah, we have stretched this pathway all the way down to the sea. Now, I love the looking back here. We've got our copper lamp design going up through the pathway here. We've got some other miscellaneous blocks. I love seeing all the different layers of detail in there. I want to be careful not to over detail it. Like, I want to not add too much extra stuff in here. That's why I didn't do full on cherry bushes, because I thought it would be too distracting to have this big, like, blazing pink splash in here. But I feel like, especially like I said, beneath the spruce leaves, I feel like that actually looks really good, especially with the bushy leaves here from Vanilla Tweaks. I think that looks really good. And then, of course, we added just, again, some more of our details here, just some more of this glow-like, and this is all about trying to add more lighting and stuff. I think what we're going to do, because if we actually take a look here, it gets really tough to add more and more of these bushes, even if we add smaller versions of them. There's a couple smaller versions of them, like back here, to stretch the lighting beyond here. I do think I want to push more lighting back here, but I'm kind of over adding whatever, so I might just do the old moss carpet trick where we shove a torch under a moss carpet and just call it a day, just to push the spawnable boundary like back from the pathway even like that much more. But yeah, we got rid of the mound that was over here, completely cleared that out of here, and we've added a whole bunch more trees in here. I actually have not decided. This is a huge, big, like, open, flat area now, and I'm not actually 100% sure what I want to build over here now. I was thinking we could do maybe a crop field or something like that, because we only have the wheat field up surrounding the barn in there. We could do a big field of carrots, or we could do a big field of potatoes. Carrots actually be interesting because it give us a nice splash of orange in here. It give us another little splash of color. Gotta remember to turn that off. I apologize for that so much because I see it all the time. I mentioned that in the last episode too, but I see it all the time and it drives me nuts that I constantly forget to turn that overlay off. But anyway, we are here to talk about building a pier that's going to stretch out into the ocean here. And actually, I made a map. Where's my map that I made for this? I mean, this may as well just be one of the trial chamber maps from the guy in there. But I made a map because I kind of look at the detail on the map too. That's one thing I really. Oh, I can't see that far away. But I love like the pathway, the little detail on the pathway, the little splash of like that, like cool blue color there from the aged copper. And the little darker spots from the patches of deep slate and tough and everything like that. I think that looks so cool. I really, really love that. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to go too far out into the sea. I think we're going to maybe go about a third of the way out there. So we'll be basically, we're going to have the land as 1/3. We're going to have a pier about a third of the way out. And then we're going to have nothing but ocean. Now, I will turn the pier in one direction or the other. I just have not decided yet exactly what direction I want to turn it. So we can go ahead and we can ditch this guy here. Now, you see I have a whole bunch of smooth stone in here, but we also have a whole ton of spruce logs. You guys want to see somebody like chop down a whole bunch of spruce trees in like 10 seconds? Here we go. Well, we have a whole bunch of spruce logs because why not? I took some inspiration from Corralis's Hermitcraft Season 7 City, where he used these kind of as the boundary of like it was like this in the ocean there. I can fix that, but basically it was like a wall like this, and then it was inset with these. So I was like, I don't want to do the same block inset. I was like, what if I do like a gray concrete? And then I actually, believe it or not, I actually just kind of mocked up something really, really quick in a creative world to look at it, and I really didn't like it. I didn't like it because it doesn't feel rustic like the rest of this village feels. This village has a very, very rustic feel to it. And like, I'm loving the way that this is up. I love this shot down this pathway. Look at this. I actually kind of really love there being a big open space over here to the right too. So I don't want to put more trees over here. I definitely don't want to put more trees over here. I'd like to put a building of some kind or a field or both. Maybe we could just put another barn down here and we can add a little carrot field around it or something like that. I don't know. My brain is turning with all these different ideas. Would you guys really, really hate if I just added the exact same barn just down there again? Like maybe that's like their favorite style of barn or something like that. I got to start an episode tracker of how many episodes this house is just not done. Sorry guys. I promise I'm going to build you. I hate that there's one of those in there. I will promise I will build you guys a home sometime soon. But yeah, what if I just built a whole thing down there? But anyway, like again with the barn, it's kind of bringing it into the whole rustic talk here. This village is so rustic, and it's kind of thrown together with all these different elements of the things that they've been able to find around them. A whole bunch of concrete and like smooth stone feels a little too industrial to me. Like it feels a little too modern, and I don't want to make anything too modern here. Again, same thing. I love the kind of contrast of this pathway. We've got nice openness over there, and then it's like the wild untamed over here on the right-hand side. And again, these azalea bushes creeping all over the banks of the hill there. Like they planted something that was much nicer, and then it eventually kind of got wild and overgrew. Oh, I love that so much. I think that looks so good. But yeah, so then I started mocking up different ideas of what I could make it out of. And as much as I said in the last episode, I really don't want to incorporate brown into it. It's kind of in theme with it though, right? Like we kind of almost need to, like, I don't want it to really deviate too much from what we've been doing over here. So I decided on a design where I'm going to use spruce logs as kind of the outer part of it, but then we're still going to inlay not concrete. Probably the annoying thing is I built all this stuff and now I just have it for no reason, and that's what all these furnaces are also full of smooth stone over here. So I just have a ton. I have to go collect sand and everything to make all this stupid concrete powder, and then I'm like, well, I don't think I want to use concrete anymore now. It is what it is. You guys know how these things go. Anyway, I think, like I said, what we'll do is we'll save that for a future build of who knows, years from now when I'm building something probably in a completely different part of the map, I'll be like, okay, we're going to do this here. Anyway, yeah, we're going to use the spruce logs as kind of the outer post of the little thing here, like so. And then the inner one, I think, is going to be regular stone, maybe, or even cobblestone. I really like it maybe being more of a cobbled together sort of thing, like they just kind of, I mean, pun not intended, where they just kind of poured the rocks in there and just built this like more makeshift pier. Let me see. Yeah, right here. Where it's more of a makeshift pier than it is anything else, like this here. Yeah, like I really, really love that. And it's like they built like just this wooden frame and poured all the stone in there in order to create pier instead, which I really, really love. So that was the design idea I came up with. I still have not, I was in that creative world and I must have tried out like 10 different block combinations of things to put over the top, from gravel to concrete powder to stone to deep slate, various different iterations of deep slate. None of them look good in my opinion. In the Season 7 Hermitcraft world, Corrales had gray concrete on the top of it because, I mean, obviously it was a more modern city, so they're meant to be roads. I think that still looks pretty good. We may actually end up going that route. I don't mind it for like the top, but we could also play around with, because we've got the mud texture there for in the village. So maybe we'll play around with the mud texture for the pathways. But anyway, I'm going to stop yammering. I'm going to get time lapsing here because we've got a lot of building to do. If we're going to stretch this pier way out there into the distance, I actually need the map. I want to hold the map in my offhand because I don't want to go too far. I don't want to build too far out there. I really, really want the pier to only go a certain distance out here from the edge of this map. So yeah, let's shut up, Nick. Time lapse, go. Action figure hanging out over my head really, really just looks awesome, doesn't it? I really, really love him. Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the time-lapse action there. Let's head down to the coasts here so we can take a little bit of a look. Words are really hard. I cannot do them. La, la, la. Oh. I love that this is visible from here. So I will say this from the outset, that an armor stand statue will not be what I put there. I actually want to build a statue, and it will be bigger than the one that's there, but I love that. And I mean, now granted, we haven't built like the walls of like the actual fortress, but even still, like from here, I mean, granted, there's a little bit of a tree in the way, but we're going to be able to see the statue from the exit of the village, which is actually really what I wanted. I wanted to make sure I built something big enough, and that kind of armor stand things gives a little bit of a sense of scale in terms of how big it's gonna be. I really, really love it. I think it's gonna look absolutely amazing. I just gotta kind of figure out exactly what that statue is gonna look like before I build it. So that is not gonna get done for this episode. My biggest goal today was to finish building our pier. We still gotta figure out what we're gonna build over here as well. I haven't really decided. I did add some small patches of mossy areas in some of the different parts of this map as well. If we take a little head cam out, we can go fly over through, I think over here. There's one. And yeah, some of these are just areas where there is just moss. Some of them, I mean, there's obviously a light under there. But I'm kind of just trying to spread the light out in different areas of the forest here without adding more of the bushes, because I feel like adding too many of the bushes is kind of over detailing a little bit. So I don't want to do that either. I want to make sure we're not like just going crazy spamming details absolutely everywhere, all over the map and everything. I added a nice little stack of hay bales here. I figured we could just have, you know, I don't know, just a bunch of hay bales just for whatever reason. Hey, listen, I've got them and they got to do something. All right. And then we get down here to our beautiful pier, which I absolutely love. I adore this design. I'm so glad I went with the cobblestone inside of the walls. I want to take a whole look at like all the different details of this bad boy. But first, all the cobblestone here in and along the wall. I just kind of added these chains and these fences on the sides here because I felt like I needed something on the exterior of this thing. I think one other thing I might do, let me know what you think of this idea. And I may just do it anyway, because I kind of really like it, because it just popped into my head, was, what if I take some trapdoors and kind of put them around parts of these beams, as if parts of them have been, maybe had to be repaired or something like that, or what, I don't know necessarily, but I really think that would look really cool. No block variation other than that, though, in terms of the cobblestone wall, because it's a scale build, so I wanted to make sure the cobblestone was only going to be in there kind of as like the little bit of depth. Like basically I wanted to feel like it's almost like a loose rock structure. One other thing I'm going to do as well, like it's not going to be a detail that anybody's going to notice but me, but down in the ocean down here, I'm going to add like little piles. Oh, that squid just did it despawn or did it? Okay. I want to add little piles of wood and cobblestone and stuff like that, like little parts of it, especially like right near the base of it. Like I want to add little piles of stuff so it maybe looks like some of the rocks like tumbled away from it or whatever, and like maybe that we can have that added into the rebuilt sections with the different trapdoors. We're waiting for the copper trapdoors along the sides here. This is the same motif that we have in the village for the barn, and for my house we have the little attic window kind of coverings with the copper trapdoors where you can kind of see through, where there's a little bit of space in there. We're going to get some light passing out through there. I want to talk more about that in a little bit for what we're going to be doing for the next episode. But yeah, you take a look at all this here. We're going to wait till those turn this color here, this one here, and then that's what's going to go into those as well. We'll honeycomb those up and everything, but we're just unfortunately waiting for them to turn right now. But yeah, I absolutely love this. Let me know if you think I should do anything with this space in here. I mean, this is just a giant hallway now. Like, there's not really, I don't think I can necessarily put anything in here and make it good, but maybe some kind of tiny little farm or something like that. I don't know what I could necessarily fit in there. So we'll have to, ooh, we actually have one of them finally turned. That's the first one, I think, that has actually turned there. But let's get like a big, like, bird's eye view of it. Just kind of get up here and kind of look at it from far away. I love, over there on the right, you can see these are all armor stands with custom player heads on them. I talked about these quite a few episodes ago when I actually farmed them, but I haven't used them at all yet until I just used them right here. And I really love that, because it really adds a nice splash of color there. It's like we've brought some crops in. We've got some supplies on the last ship that came in. There will be a ship out here one of these days. Like a new crop. Every time we're trying to do a video, hey, you down there, what's with this rain, bruh? He doesn't know. He doesn't know anything. But yeah, I really love these. There's a beautiful splash of color. We offloaded some supplies the last time a ship came in, and we're waiting to transport those kind of into the village. I really love that. And then the rest of this is just meant to just kind of be, you know, some clutter here on the dock. You know, we've got just like a bunch of chests and barrels, like other supplies and stuff that have brought in. This is where we hid all this light gray concrete powder that we made that actually ended up never getting used here. Let me know what you think of the surface of the pier here. I ended up going with gray concrete. I don't want anything that's too busy. Everything I tried a ton of different blocks in a creative world. Just kind of trying to look and see what was going to look good here, but everything ended up looking too busy, and it kind of distracted from the design unless you were really far away from it. I didn't want it to look super busy. I think I might add a few little small patches of deep slate, just like maybe like it's a smoother surface, but like there's areas of the rock that are broken up or something. Maybe I'll do something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, let me know what you think of the surface. Like I said, I wanted the concrete because it's kind of flat detail-wise. Like, there's not a lot going on with it detail-wise. And everything else I tried, from like smooth stone, stone brick, like tough brick, I think I tried a lot of different variations of deep slate, even terracottas. The terracottas all have a brown in them though, because of the base clay terracotta color. So none of those I thought looked really good with the wood pier sides. And I really thought like we really needed the spruce to be part of this, because this is off of the spruce forest, and so much of our village is built off of this motif of the spruce forest. So I thought that this looked really, really, really good. But yeah, I love just, again, these little clusters of barrels and chests and things like that. Just other supplies that maybe got offloaded that haven't been moved anywhere. Same thing here. Same thing there. So, I mean, there it is. Like, I absolutely love it. We're waiting, obviously, for the rest of our trapdoors to finish converting. We've only got a few left that just have to age one more stage here, and then we'll get all those honeycombed and everything like that. And those will be taken care of. So, I mean, just kind of overall, like, in terms of, like, everything that we've changed recently, this is kind of a snapshot of, like, this whole entire episode, like, all the work that we've done ahead of this whole episode here. All this nice, beautiful transformation, the addition of all these different bushes and stuff that you see that are in the center of the shot here, the azalea bushes up on the cliff, and then we've got that small little patch of cherry trees that I shoved in there. I may actually do this with other tree types and more cherry trees at different iterations of the forest, just kind of spam a few different trees in there just to pop some color. Little bits of color. There's nothing ever going to be developed out there. There's not ever going to be anything there, but from a far away view, you're going to see little more bits of development, little extra things that are going to be kind of stuck elsewhere. I think that's going to look really, really cool. I'm pretty sold on the idea of shoving a crop farm in here, like a pretty expansive one. Like I said, I think we'll do potatoes, or maybe we'll do just another big wheat field. I haven't decided. I know what my weedies will say, but what do y'all think? What kind of crop should we plant in this area here? Let me know. I think we'll build a small building, very small, shed-like. Like, I think we'll just do a shed-style building where we just have supplies and stuff stored, so it won't be anything. There won't be any villagers in there. There won't be anything in there. Just extra supplies and stuff like that for the farm. Maybe like some extra crops, or maybe like a small crop storage shed or something like that. And we could put some more of those player heads that we have down here on the pier. Some of these, there's some of it's meant to be like tomatoes, radishes, oranges, different things, obviously, that we don't have in the game. But I just thought it looked really good. And I mean, again, look at the beautiful splash of color there on the edge of the pier. I think that looks really, really, really good. And before we say goodbye for the episode, we may as well take a look at our beautiful wandering trader over here. So this armor stand, it's this, again, the armor stand mod that Hermitcraft uses. And this is the maximum scale size for an armor stand now, so you can make them massive. Like I said, I don't want to use an armor stand here. I do want to build an actual statue, but what I've decided after I built this pedestal, which I kind of built this pedestal a little bit different from the dock. The dock is just a straight up and down thing. This thing actually has a little bit of depth to it. You see that it kind of expands outward. So the base gets a little wider as we go down. But the more I built this, and the longer it's been here, the more I actually really love the idea of building an actual statue here, and then building like an island that's connected back to the mainland somewhere. Or maybe it's not connected to the mainland, but like there's more of an island here where maybe there's like a little tourist area set up, like Statue of Liberty style, like where there's actual land around where the pedestal and stuff is. Because what we're going to do is the base where this is located is not going to be the end. There's going to be a platform up on this. Like, we're going to build it with all sorts of different nice decorative blocks, build a platform up that the actual statue is going to sit on, which I think could look really, really cool. But it's kind of ruined because of the torches right now, but I really, really love this idea you see in here. This is all empty too. We could also stick some kind of farm in here. This is still flooded. I have not cleared the water out of this. But, you know, there's lights in there, and I like once we have those torches that aren't on the top of it, I like this kind of idea of this light glow from the lights that you can see underneath. Same thing with the dock over here, just like a little bit of brightness, little bit of a glow coming out of those trapdoors down below, so you see like a little bit of light coming out. I really, really love that. I think that's a beautiful touch. I have not like taken a whole huge look at this whole area shader wise. Ooh. It's like the only part of the forest that isn't lit up now is where this bigger field is going to go down there. But I mean, again, look at all the beautiful little splashes of light, the beautiful little glows that we have all over the place. I think that looks so spectacular. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm loving the amount of detail. I'm trying to be conscious of not adding too much detail. That's why, like, I didn't add anything in the run on the dock here. Like, the dock itself doesn't have anything down in this area. Maybe I'll add like one or two small things, but I really doubt it. I really kind of like this being more clean, and like maybe this is just stuff that came in on the latest shipment and we just haven't moved it to the village yet because it just came in. You know what, the one thing that's driving me nuts about this view? It's that little island right over there. That's going to get taken out of there. I'm pretty sure I want to get rid of it because it's spoiling my view. Look at it. It's a tiny, tiny little patch of land. It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing, but it's completely, it ruins the view because I want this to just be expansive ocean in every direction. Look, every other direction, there's nothing except for that one tiny, tiny little island that's out there. That does that. This is also not great lighting wise. If we take a look at the light level overlay, it's dark over here. Like, it's very, very dark. That's why I had to add, and I actually added this. I mean, think of it, pretend it's like netting or something, right? Like, pretend we've got like, there's like cargo netting or something over it, but I actually had to add in some glow lichen, especially to the middle part here. The rest of it is enough. There's one of the time lapses that might have gone by so fast that you didn't see it, but in one of the time lapses, I actually had built these further spaced apart, and I actually had to move them closer together because there was a small unlit gap in the middle. So that's why the lights are only 6 blocks apart instead of, say, 7 or 8 blocks apart, because I wanted to make sure we kept the light level the same with the light motif that we've been using all throughout the village, and still have the entire pier lit. Like, that was really, really important to me, to make sure the entire pier was lit up. But I shouldn't be surprised if I see movement, because it's, of course, nighttime out here. You know how it goes. But yeah, it's like barely lit up in here. Like, I like how dark it is. It's not super, super lit up, which I'm fine with. I think that looks perfectly fine. I was experimenting with trying to shove a light somewhere in here, like an actual light. This isn't like Bedrock, though. In Bedrock, light goes through everything. Light goes through slabs, light goes through barrels, light goes through everything. I wanted to hide a light under here, but the only thing I could do was a trapdoor, which you could see it a little bit underneath, or a chest, which you could definitely see it underneath, because the chest doesn't fit over a full block. So, and then of course we stuck an ender chest down here, so that way we have an ender chest down here on the pier. So the last thing that I wanted to show you before we wrap up the episode here is, of course, we've got this map here. I figured it was finally time. It's been like 3 months or so since we updated the maps from back when the season first started. Hard to believe this season's been going on for like 4 months now, I think. But I think it's finally time to update the maps that we've got hanging in the barn here. So let's go ahead and hope that we can take a nice safe journey back here and not get attacked by anything on this pathway up here. But I just wanted to take one more walk through here at night with the rain. I think this looks so, so beautiful. I just love all the details in here. I love all the things that we've added in here. Something saw me. Of course, we get up here closer to the village, and then we head up into our village area. I really want to get these walls built. Oh, this still isn't built, by the way. If you thought I was going to build that this episode. Yeah, let's head right over here into our barn. Chase the kitty. Right up here into our barn. You can see we've already got other maps in here for the eastern village, the eastern portion of the village right here. And, of course, the western portion of the village where we've done all that extra pathway work, all that extra detail. Look at all the extra detail. And the great thing is look at this map. This is from back in the very, very early days. Back in the very, very early days of this village. And there's nothing anywhere around this entire village at all. But just look at the transformation, all the extra detail, all those little splashes of color, those little splashes of darker areas and everything like that. And let's go ahead and pop that map right up there, because now we're going to expand the map section out to view the western shore. I've got to lock that map yet. I didn't lock that map because I want to wait until all the trapdoors completely turn before we hang it on the wall. But yeah, that's absolutely it. And of course, you see the date on there, 11/9/2024, which is the date that this episode comes out. So yeah, it's just about 3 months. Like, I just figured it was time. I figured it was probably time, since we've done a ton of detail work out here, and even the village itself, even though we haven't done work in the village in a little bit, like, we've got to finish that house, and we've really got to do, like, the lower area of the village here, like this bottom area, like, aside from, well, I mean, there were some trees and stuff down here and whatever, but the lower area of the village really has not changed at all. I mean, the village wall is one section bigger, But other than that, like, not a lot has changed down there. And that's actually what we're going to be working on a future video, because I talked, I think it was last episode or the episode before, something like that, about getting rid of these houses down here and building our library. But we actually have to, all of our librarians are in there and all of our mini heads are in there. So I want to build a library that's going to have all of our mini head blocks and it's going to have all of our villagers in there. But yeah, there it is. Our absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous pier. But that's where we're going to wrap this episode up. That's where we're going to say goodbye. We've gotten a lot done. And I'm super, super glad. Thank you so much for your kindness on the last episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for checking it out. I know we didn't really do anything in the last episode, but this one, we got a lot of stuff done. We got an absolute ton of stuff done. And I am absolutely in love with how this area has completely transformed over the course of the last week and a half or so since the last episode came out. I really, really wanted to put a lot of work in here to making sure that this was going to be just the most breathtaking thing possible. Oh, look at the reflection of the moon in the water there. Oh, my God. Oh, that's so perfect. Oh, that's just the perfect way to leave this whole thing. That skeleton didn't follow me, right? No. Okay. Oh, that's just absolutely perfect. But yeah, that is going to do it for this week's episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for taking some time and spending it here with me on Tritoncraft Season 2. Look at this guy here. Look at this guy. He knows what's up. Sun's going to come up over the back of his head here, and we're going to get cracking to work on some more of the stuff that's going on here. But I do want to take the time again. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that jazz. You'll know all about that stuff. I love your beautiful faces. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Keep making the world a better place. Keep doing whatever you can to make the world a better place. Make your little corner of the world a better place. Look, the sun will rise. A new day will come every single day. A lot of people are all over the place right now with all the election nonsense and everything like that. Do what you can to make your corner of the world a better place. That's the most you can do in this world. And, you know, keep trying to make for a better life for everybody that you know. I love you so much. Take good care of yourselves. And I'll see you next Saturday. Take care, everybody.